everybody, and welcome into today's episode of the Top Cut Yu-Gi-Oh! Podcast. My name is Sunny. I am here recording with Caleb.
As per usual.
All right, it's just the two of us today. We know we've had a lot of guest episodes lately, and we know that everybody loves those episodes, but every now and then, we got to get back to our roots, which is, well, us. Sorry, guys.
Us rubbing the only brain cell that we each contain together to make a thought.
Right. So we share that one little brain cell. We kind of pass it back and forth between us when we're, not talking. Just, helps us out, helps us continue the conversation. So we do have some stuff to talk about today. We have some Master Duel updates. We have some new cards to talk about, and we have some pretty big stuff going on in the OCG. So let's go ahead and, first of all, I want to thank everybody for being here today. Thanks so much. We have been getting awesome feedback regarding some stuff in our Discord server. We ask that you join our Discord server. We ask that you follow us on whatever platform you're listening on. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into some quick play news. What do we got?
All right. First off, this weekend, Saturday, the 28th at 9 a.m. PT, will be the August Remote Duel Invitational.
You said that's 9 a.m. Pacific time?
I don't know if that's Pacific time or not. It just said PT.
Yeah. PT is Pacific.
Yeah. I thought that was PCT. Or PST. Pacific Standard Time, PST.
Well, if it's it's the North American Invitational that you're talking about, right?
Yeah, I would assume it's PST then.
Yeah.
You can Google it. It's not that big of a deal. Anyway, it is a Remote Duel Invitational. It is the Remote Duel tournament that you have to win. You have to get top at like an Extravaganza and a couple other places to get an invite.
Right, so you can do your locals Remote Duel qualifier, which they should have been hosting Remote Duel qualifiers at your locals on a weekly basis. And
not all locals, unfortunately. There's a list.
Right, there's a bunch of locals that were doing Remote Duel qualifiers, and your locals may or may not have been participating.
Unfortunately, neither one of our locals were doing it.
There was one that we could have done.
Yeah, but
we didn't do it.
It's because it's not,
I have trouble getting off work in time is my issue.
Definitely.
Plus, they do it on days that we record, of course.
Of course.
So, and then I did not top the Extravaganza. So.
Unfortunately. There's always next time.
Right. So, but for the people that did top the Extravaganzas and the people that did top their qualifiers, this is the Invitational. It's this weekend. We'll get some good data on some really good players and some good trends that we see coming. And moving forward, we can we can extrapolate a lot about where the format currently lies after this weekend.
Oh yeah.
So, and the people that get top cut at this Invitational, I think top 4 probably will get invites to the big 16-man Invitational that they do once every few months.
Yeah.
So
try to get the best of the best of that.
Right. So that's this weekend starting at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time or Pacific Time, whatever, which is 11 o'clock Central Standard Time, depending on, where you are.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Just literally Google 9 a.m. PT, and then it should just bring up whatever time it is in your current time zone.
Right.
Let's see. Next is a little announcement for play over in the OCG.
And the announcement is that there is no more play in the OCG.
Outside of remote duels.
Right. So I'll go ahead and read the post as it reads on YG Organization. This post went live August 25th. State of emergency. Following the recent declaration of a state of emergency in multiple areas in Japan starting on August 27th until September 12th, so August 27th will be the day of posting of this podcast this Friday, Konami has resolved suspending events across the entire country. These events will be reinstated after observing any changes in the government policy. Affected Rush Duel events are Tournament Battle, Free Battle, Konami Card Game Shop, Satellite Shop, and all events held in these shops, and Duelist Meetup. All Remote Duel events are being held normally. All affected OCG events are Ranking Duel, Yu-Gi-Oh! Day, Challenge Day, Konami Card Game Shop, Satellite Shop, and all events held in these shops, and all area events. So, basically, due to the increased tick in COVID cases in Japan, all OCG play has been resuspended.
For now. for the foreseeable future at the moment.
Until September 12th or 17th or whatever day it was, at the very least.
Yeah, bare minimum. Which is unfortunate which is very unfortunate. As that yes, it is over in the OCG, but they could still have ramifications outside of the OCG as well, such as a product that might be pushed further back due to them not wanting to clash with any of their releases in the OCG. We'll have to wait and see how long this lasts.
Right.
How long it lasts. Is there a possibility TCG will catch up to the OCG in?
Probably
product?
not. I think there's a good chance that they still maintain the same product release schedule over there. They just won't really have any events in card shops.
Fair enough, which is fair.
If you look at it, even before they had Remote Duel set up and Remote Duel as a system in place, before they did anything of that nature, you already had the propensity to, how do I put it? You already had Konami's, like, they've established that under full lockdown, they're still going to release new product.
Okay, well there's that at least. Okay, that's not that.
Because if you look back to last year, you can definitely see places where they still release Secret Slayers, they still release Eternity Code, they still release Rise of the Duelist, even though they had no kind of events in place for those. So,
fair enough.
All right, well, let's do that's the end of the quick play news. Let's go ahead and do a quick little ad break, and we'll be right back.
Hey everyone, it's Caleb, also known as Jam, the man, here with our sponsor, Anchor. Anchor makes making a podcast incredibly easy. It has tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer, then distribute your podcast for you, so you can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many, many more. They even let you make money from your podcast right from the very start. Everything you need to make your own podcast. The best part? It's free. So go and download the free Anchor app, or go to anchor.fm and get started today. And now, back to the podcast.
All right, everybody. That brings us right back in. So what are we going to talk about first? You want to do some card? So you want cards, or you want to talk about the structure deck? I'll leave it up to you.
Let's start with some new cards, because that's because we have all the information about the cards, we barely have anything for the structure deck.
Right. So let's start with Exorcister Pax. It is a quick play spell card. What it does is you can only activate a card with this card's name once per turn. So it's basically a hard once per turn. During the main phase, you can pay 800 life points. Add one Exorcister card from your deck to your hand, except Exorcister Pax. Then, if it is a monster that specifically lists an Exorcister monster you control or in your graveyard in its text, you can special summon the added monster. This card is awesome.
Oh yeah, no. Not only does it give you the capability of adding a monster or a spell or trap, depending upon what else is on your board and what else is going on, it could then just straight up turn into quick launch.
Or more.
Yeah, or even more. Again, it's a more versatile quick launch. Again, depending upon your field presence.
I mean, think about this. If you have this card set in your back row, and your opponent activates Karis, send Kit. What you do is, you chain this to Karis, this resolves, you search one of the Exorcisters, then Karis summons, new chain, Kit activates. Because Kit activated in the graveyard, you can activate the Exorcister that you just searched.
Well, no. Well, no, it doesn't. Well,
it would be on a new chain. The Exorcister's already in your hand.
Yeah, that would work.
Same thing with Alpha and Ben 10.
Yeah. So that would give you access to the other pair.
Right.
In that situation.
That's really good.
Oh yeah, no, I know against Tribe Grey, that's amazing.
I mean, it's great against Drytron too, because
all their effects. Yeah.
Activate Alpha, tribute Ben 10.
Yeah.
Activate in response to the Ben 10 engrave.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it has the potential to be really good. I mean, it's as good as DD Crow is.
Not quite, because it doesn't quite do the same thing as DD Crow.
No, but it puts a bunch of monsters on your board, and a lot of them have quick play effects to. A lot of them have quick effects to summon Exceed monsters on top of them.
Bingo.
So I mean, this thing gets that whole chain started. It can potentially get the whole chain started, and it's really. I mean, it's a searcher for the archetype, and an archetype that can already special summon itself from hand. This sends this archetype over the top. As far as I'm concerned,
This is Exorcisters are the best archetype in Grand Creators at this point.
They were
By
already
far.
the best archetype in Grand Creators. This puts them like beyond meta relevance. Like this is going to be like a really good deck, in my opinion, come January of next year, assuming we still get it in January. You never know these
definitely.
days.
Next up, we have Aquamancer of the Sanctuary, level 3 water spellcaster.
I'm sorry, I can't get over that spell. That card is really going to be good. I know I keep coming back to it. I know I've talked about it a lot.
And
but
it's nuns with guns, which was my Vanguard deck at the time. I played Battle Sisters, which are nuns with guns.
It's not even just that it's nuns with guns. I really don't care for the artwork that much. It's a unique concept that I really am just in love with. And I think that realistically, in today's Yu-Gi-Oh!, an archetype that's based around your opponent activating on doing things out in the graveyard, I mean, look at how good Ghost Bell is. And this card realistically these cards can affect more than just what Ghost Bell can affect. I don't know. I really, really, really love the concept of this deck, and I love how good this card is. This card's broken, so I'm sorry.
It's cracked.
Let's talk about this Aquamancer of the Sanctuary.
Level 3 water spellcaster, 1500 attack, 1200 defense. You can only use this card's first, second, and third effect once per turn. Very hard once per turn.
Yep.
1. If you control a Brave token, you can special summon this card from your hand.
Oh wow!
It's the girl from the field spell with all the orbs.
Right.
Yeah. 2. You can banish this card from your hand or graveyard. Add Rite of Artemisia from your deck or graveyard to your hand.
Isn't that their search card?
That's the one that's like, it's like if you do not control a Brave token, make one, and then if you don't have the field spell, activate the field spell. I think.
Oh, okay.
So I think
it's like one of the really good cards in the deck.
Yeah. 3. If you control a Brave token, you can place one field spell that specifically lists Brave token in its text from your deck in your field zone face up.
Oh my goodness, this is exactly what this deck needed.
Yeah, it's still not great though because so far there's still one card in the entire archetype that produces the token.
Yeah, but is that one of the field spells?
No.
Oh, it's one of the monsters?
No, it's just a normal spell card.
Oh, yeah, but this searches that spell card, and
Yeah.
it activates the field spells.
Yeah, exactly. But you have to... so like in order to search it, you have to banish it from your hand or graveyard, and then to place the field spell, it has to be on field. But
because you can banish it from grave, it gives recursiveness.
From hand or grave to give you the...
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
you can also fetch the starter, the Brave token generator from your graveyard so you can recycle them.
This is a 3 of in this deck, for sure.
Absolutely. You need 3 of this, 3 of the spell card that generates the tokens.
The Rite of Aramesia.
Yeah, I think if I remember correctly, I think that's it.
It's been a while since we read those cards, to be fair.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like it's definitely something the deck needed. Well, no, something else that the deck needs is like another way to reliably produce the token.
Right.
Because if your opponent outs the token and you don't have access to getting that card back, you're done. Your deck's turned off.
Yeah, one token generator or one token collector ends your whole career.
Token collector, token Sunday,
anything like that.
Yeah.
Token Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Your opponent just kind of eating it, just kind of stealing it, and then making Link Spider with it.
Okay. This is easily the second best archetype in the Grand Creators, but the issue with this archetype is that people are already going to be siding heavily for anti-token generation decks.
Because of Sword Soul.
Because of Sword Soul, exactly.
Well, in my opinion, the Brave token archetype is the worst archetype out of the 3.
Oh, really?
In my opinion. I think Punk is better.
Is that because of this new card we're about to read?
Yes.
Okay, well, go ahead.
Okay, so we have no Punk, numeral Ogre. Now, something that Yu-Gi-Oh! Or that YGO organization really wants to put forward is that its Japanese name is actually No Punk Number Ogre, but it is not a number monster. They make that very clear. So that's why they're thinking when we get it, it'll be numeral Ogre.
That makes sense. And to be fair, if you look at the artwork of this card, first of all, it's got a giant horned demon face front and center. Yeah, that's for sure going to get changed come TCG.
No, that's the Japanese Ogre. It's who Swamp and Lava Battle Guard are based off of.
I understand that, but it looks way too demonic for what we're gonna get. They're gonna censor that for sure.
I mean, they might remove like the horns or something. We'll have to wait and see. Anyway.
But what I was actually gonna say was it's got little like graphics across it that look like it's the same like artistic style as the numbers on the number cards.
Yes.
So like it looks like a numeron or number card.
But I think it's supposed to be kind of a, hey guys, I'm totally a number monster.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Well, they can't make more number monsters because they already did the complete number file.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, it is a Fiend Dark, level 8, with 2,500 attack, 2,000 defense. It's a Fiend, not a Psychic, which I find interesting, because all the rest of the archetypes...
Oh, that's true.
Except the Sea Serpent Dragon.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, so I guess only the level 3s are all Psychic.
Weird.
You can only use this name's first and second effects once per turn.
The third effect is not once per... Oh, wait, what?
The first and second effects are once per turn. The third effect is not once per turn.
No, it is once per turn, but it's a soft once per turn.
Okay.
The first and second effects are a hard once per turn, and the third effect is soft. That's so weird.
Yeah. You contribute a punk monster to special summon this card from your hand.
Okay, seems pretty good.
Yeah. You can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard, add a punk monster from your deck to your hand, except a level 8 monster.
Okay, so those are the two hard once per turn effects.
Yeah. 3, once per turn. When your opponent activates a monster effect, quick effect, you can make this card gain attack equal to that opponent's monster's original attack until the end of this turn.
And so this is the soft once per turn.
Yeah. So he's already at 2,500, so he just gets beefy.
I mean, depending on what they're activating, yeah, sure. I mean, if they activate Almirage, it doesn't really...
Yeah. But they activated Dragoon.
Big boy.
Bonk. You're just going to bulk up to... Let's see, if they've already activated the Dragoon and it resolved properly.
It's original attack.
Okay, yeah, that'd still be 5,500.
Yep, which is enough to run over the Dragoon and deal 1,500 damage.
The problem, though, is that it's until the end of the turn and only during your opponent's turn.
Oh, true.
But then that means they can't run it over.
It's not only during your opponent's turn.
Oh, never mind. If your opponent activates Dragoon, you just plop this sucker down, and if your opponent makes a Dragoon, you plop this sucker down, activate something else, and then dare them to activate Dragoon. Dare them.
Yeah, so this card's effective. You contribute one punk monster, special on this card from your hand. I'm pretty sure that this is going to be a summon that does not start a chain. So popularly known as an inherent summon.
Yeah.
Generally cards that specify location that they summon from. So it'll say, like, you can summon this card, open parentheses, from your hand, close parentheses.
Kind of like Leviair and...
kind of like Cyber Dragon.
Yeah,
Cyber Dragon's the easiest example.
Fair enough. And the most popular, especially now.
Right. So, and as an example of a summon that does not start a chain. So, I'm pretty sure that that's correct, but we'll have to English translation.
Yeah, I'll have to wait for, like, the official whenever we...
With PSET.
Yeah.
But that makes that card better, for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Because that, like you said, like, if you summon this card while Dragoon's on the board, Dragoon can't negate the summon of this card.
And then you can just go on, and your opponent's probably going to be scared to activate Dragoon.
Because then he can just run Dragoon over. Right, exactly.
And you out, or any other monster on their field.
Right.
Particularly if they're sitting on Verte Anaconda and their Dragoon. Like, how big is Verte? 1,000?
500.
500?
Yeah.
If they have only 5,000 life points left, you just lost.
Game, yeah. Well, and the other thing is, this is, because of this being someone that doesn't start a chain, I mean, it outs some really tough boards. In the same way that Alpha the Master of Beast might. But it's a good card. It is. I still think that the other...
You know what monster doesn't? You know what monster doesn't care about the attack buff that this thing gives?
What?
Appaloosa.
Oh, true.
Because its original attack is 0.
Actually, I think Appaloosa specifically says... hold on, wait. Let me pull out my copy of Appaloosa. Yeah. So it says the original attack of this card becomes 800 times the number of link materials used.
Never mind. I thought it was... Yeah.
That's why, like, you can't... so Appaloosa's effect to give it a certain attack, you cannot, like there's no effect activating there, so you can't, like if you Nibiru in response to Appaloosa, they can negate the Nibiru with Appaloosa.
Yeah. Well, no, because, like, I'm talking about, like you do something, your opponent activates Appaloosa, chain that thing's effect, and gain and crap, and, you know.
Right, so Appaloosa loses the 800 attack.
And then this thing would go off and yoink. Get that attack buff.
Okay, so once per chain, when your opponent's monster activates a monster effect, quick effect, so that's condition for activation, you can make this card lose exactly 800 attack, and if you do, negate the activation. So, because of the way that's worded, if Apollousa does not lose the 800 attack, it doesn't negate. So, and it doesn't lose the 800 attack until resolution. So if you chain his effect,
you'll gain the full 2400 if it's a 4 material.
3 material. If it's a 4 material, it'll be 32.
Fair enough.
Right.
I'm doing my math wrong.
So he'll gain the full 3200.
Yeah.
And then it'll negate.
And then it'll drop down to 24. And then you're sitting there with a 5700 attack point beat stick.
Big boy.
Oh yeah, I know. It definitely
has some interesting applications.
Oh yeah, the big thing is it makes your opponent kind of have to think about whether or not they should negate.
I mean, yeah. It helps break difficult to break boards is the key.
Oh yeah. I mean, especially in a deck that lives and dies by, your opponent. Well, any deck lives and dies by your opponent's board. What was I saying there? Particularly this deck, which doesn't seem to have a whole lot of just unaffected by monster effects, unaffected by spell.
No built-in protections.
Yeah, that doesn't have any naturally built-in protection outside of, I'm just going to keep pumping out monsters, and eventually you'll run out of stuff.
Right.
If I can, I mean, E-Tally by itself. Anyway, that was all we had for for those 3 new monsters. It was 3 new cards. It was like 1 for each of the 3 archetypes that are coming out in Grand Creators. It's gonna be a real fun set.
Yeah. It's definitely gonna be an interesting set, and I think Exorcisters could be. At first, I thought they were just kind of like mildly format dependent. They could potentially be okay, but I'm starting to think that Exorcisters are really going to be a format defining archetype.
Very possibly. So we'll have to see how they deal with Sword Soul.
Yeah, and I think that because of the way that the format's gonna, because of the way that everything's gonna land, assuming the release schedule stays the same, Exorcisters will release in January. We can expect a new ban list. So we'll get 1 ban list in October, and then probably another ban list, if I had to guess, in the middle of January or beginning of February. So because of this archetype releasing at the middle to end of January,
it'll depend on 2 whole ban lists.
Well, not just that. The competitive viability of the deck will depend on 2 whole ban lists. Yes, but I think that the deck realistically gets until around this time next year to be relevant, because you'll have the entire February to whenever, maybe May or June ban list, and then June to like September-ish.
Something like that, yeah.
So what I'm saying is the deck could have a very long time to be competitively viable.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
6, 8, 10 months.
Because it doesn't seem like one of those decks that's just broken to the point to where it's just going to get destroyed on a ban list. It doesn't seem to be that kind of...
That Exorcisters is going to be the ultimate deck to read the format, and if you're like a really skilled player and you read that the format is a little too graveyard dependent at that moment,
play Exorcisters.
Going into the next event, you should be playing Exorcisters.
But if for whatever reason, because of the upcoming ban lists and all that, and Sword Soul and blah, blah, blah.
If you look at something like Sword Soul, is not like they do a lot of stuff with their graveyard, but they're not as graveyard dependent as, say, like Tri Brigade or Drytron. And then if you look at a deck like Flunderies, which basically doesn't care about the graveyard at all, or even a deck like Virtual World. Virtual World doesn't really.
Yeah.
If you look at decks like those, if those are the popular decks of the format, I mean, Virtual World cares about the graveyard. I'm not saying they don't, but but they don't like activate as many effects in the graveyard. Like Drytron can activate all their effects in hand or grave. Tri Brigade activate tons of graveyard effects.
Well, the big question will be how often do the particular decks in the format utilize monsters that are special summon from the graveyard and then stick to the field?
Yeah. So
as opposed to just immediately being linked off or
the deck really has a lot. It's all going to be meta dependent. The deck could have one of the highest power ceilings of a format, or it could be unplayable in a format, depending on how popular decks like Flunderies are versus something like Tri Brigade or Drytron. It's going to be incredibly format dependent, and it's something that it's going to be a meta call. Whenever you play it, it's a meta call.
Oh, absolutely.
So, let's go ahead and do a. Let's talk just for a moment about our sponsor, ETB Games in Alexandria, Louisiana. ETB Games is our locals here in central Louisiana. They are a wonderful sponsor. We go there as often as we possibly can. They hold monthly tournaments for it's called a ETB Battle City Day, where they'll host a large tournament. Sometimes it's a case tournament. Sometimes they do top prizes like starlights and things of that sort.
Sometimes it's a goat tournament where the top prize is an ulti
Dekoichi.
Yeah.
That was the first one, right?
Yeah.
So the goal is they really want to nurture and help the Yu-Gi-Oh scene flourish, and they're doing a wonderful job.
They just didn't they just recently apply for OTS status?
They actually got approved to be an OTS store, and here hopefully all the support from Konami will be coming soon. So
Which
OTS,
will be amazing.
Right, OTS packs, the cool store banners, things like that.
Yeah, boy.
Right, so we're really excited for those developments. We're excited going forward. It is also a wonderful place to come in and hang out and just chill. They have TVs, you can play video games, you can rent D&D rooms. They are really a one-stop shop for everything nerdy or tabletop related.
Oh yeah, they even sell mats. Lots and lots of mats for every card game imaginable, just about.
Play mats, everything.
Except maybe Magic, but I don't think Magic has mats.
Yeah, they do.
Well, I mean, like mats with the thing.
With a thing?
With a thing, you know, that thing that's on mats all the time.
Play zones?
Zones.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, no, they probably don't really have zones on a lot of the Magic the Gathering mats, but
I'm sure the people at ETB would know.
That's right, exactly. They know all about this stuff. No, Magic definitely has play mats. Spellgrounds was originally a Magic.
Yeah.
Anyway, so if you are anywhere in the state of Louisiana, Alexandria is never more than a 3-hour drive from anywhere in the state of Louisiana. It's super convenient. You can get there from anywhere in under 3 hours.
Unless you live all the way down there in the bayou, then it's like a 3.5 hour because it takes about 30 minutes to get out of the bayou.
Yeah, something like that. So for anybody in the state of Louisiana, or even if you're in like East Texas, some places in Mississippi, even some places in southern Arkansas, you can always get to Alexandria in a relatively short amount of time. I think from Dallas, it's about a 4.5 to 5 hour drive. From Lufkin, it's probably about 3.5 to 4. It's worth the drive. It's worth coming, checking out the community. You could see us there on any given weekend. Be sure to hit us up on the Discord before you go, because it is about a 50-minute drive for us. But we try to go as often as we can. We love it. We love the community. We love the people. We always
cool dudes.
Absolutely. We always promote Team Dark Arm Dealings here in our little outro. They're all based out of that locals as well. Again, a lot of cool guys. And we ask that you come in ready to play, because we all get kind of competitive.
Oh, yeah.
If you want to check out ETB Games, though, if you're not in the Louisiana, Texas, Arkansas, Mississippi area, if you want to support the podcast and our sponsor, be sure to check them out at etbgames.com. Their link is in the description below. And with that, let's get on back into the podcast. We have some more cool stuff to talk about here.
Well, speaking of ETB Games, I'm hoping that if we ever get this next product in, ETB Games will have it so I can buy from them. The next OCG structure deck.
Oh,
Alpha
yeah.
Strike.
I almost forgot to talk about this.
Yes, we have the entire fact sheet.
For the OCG.
For the OCG version.
Okay, yeah, so keep in mind, this is not a TCG announced structure deck yet. This is 100% an OCG announced structure deck. We might not get the structure deck at all, but I have a feeling we will, to be honest with you.
Yeah. So the fact sheet says, and I quote, "A pre-constructed deck appears that gathers cards from the official game original story theme that made its debut in Rise of the Duelist that came out in April of 2020. It's a fusion dragon deck whose image concept was based around the ability of Fallen of Albaz to transform into dragons by absorbing all sorts of powers. It has new cards that further enhance your ability to enjoy the world building off of this theme. There are token cards included with the token pack at the same time. The token pack super rare cards also come in secret rare foiling. Each structure deck will come with one pre-constructed deck of 46 cards, one token pack of 5 cards, one reversible special duel field / playing guide. The pre-constructed deck comes with 2 ultras, 1 super, and 6 normal parallels. The token pack comes with 5 super rares that can also come in secret.
I mean, there's definitely some cool things about this. They always get more stuff than we do. We probably won't get the token pack, and if we do, they'll be like, you get one of these tokens, potentially, and it could potentially be a super rare.
No, it will be a super rare. I imagine if we get this, like a 1-for-1 kind of product, it'd be like the Spirit Charmer structure deck, where it's just a random...
one of them is super.
Well, no, because they're all super, but you only get one.
Right.
As opposed to over in the OCG, where...
They got all 5 in at least super, and 1 could be secret.
Exactly. So the secret rare ones are their collectible ones.
Right, and it comes with 2 ultras and a super, and 6 parallel rares.
We don't have that.
Yeah, we don't even have parallel rares at all.
Yeah. So for us, it would be... They probably do like...
2 ultras, one super, and that's all they do. That's what they do for every structure deck for us.
No, they do more supers. They give us more supers. They don't give it... Yeah.
It's like 3 supers, maybe?
Maybe. They give us more supers and ultras. I only remember this because I got 3 copies of the Shadal structure deck.
Right.
Garista and El Shadal Construct were both ultra.
No, Apcolon was an ultra. Shadal, I think Grista's a super.
He was a super. Yes, he was.
Yeah, because I know Construct was an ultra, and I know Apcolon was an ultra.
Then Window was a super. Grista, I guess, was also the other super. And
was it Windy or
Windy
Ariel?
And Ariel were also supers.
Okay, so they could potentially have 3 or 4.
Yeah, exactly. And then everything else I think was common.
So the reason that I think I've seen a lot of people questioning online whether or not we're even going to get this structure deck.
Because we didn't get the Dragoonity structure deck.
Right. I think we do get this structure deck. And the reason why is the Dogmatica lore is something that they're clearly pushing. And it's something that they clearly want us to have access to. If this was a retrain of an old structure deck like the Sanctuary structure deck or the Cyber Dragon structure deck.
Or the Dragoonity structure deck, for example.
I would have my doubts because realistically, even though, yes, we get new cards, we can get those new cards in a side set because the vast majority of the cards have already been printed.
Yeah. Here,
unless they're going to reprint a lot of the Dogmatica cards here.
Which they very well might.
I mean, they could because a lot of them are going to be in the Megatins, and I guess whatever doesn't make it in the Megatins could be in this sometime in like February of next year.
God, Common Nadir Servant.
Really, when you think about it, it actually would make a ton of sense to have like Ecclesia and Fleur de Lis.
Yeah, all is common. Like one of the ultras is 100% Fallen of Albaz, and I'm 99% sure the other one is
Titaniclad.
Yeah.
Or whatever the new card is.
Yeah, like the branded and red like that red branded dragon thing.
Yeah, I mean this deck could be a hodgepodge of all those different archetypes.
We'll have to wait and see. We gotta play the big wait and see game. Another possibility is that it's just straight up a deck full of a bunch of nonsense, and then Fallen of Albaz and a bunch of fusions that he can go into with all the nonsense.
Yeah, that's also really possible. I think it would be a little too cool to be a Dogmatica one.
But
oh, excuse me. Oh my goodness.
Bless you.
Ooh, that came out of nowhere.
Anyway, but it also said in the description that it's based around the story arc of the archetypes. So they could even they might even throw in, based on that, they might throw in Tri-Brigade, Spriggan, Despia, and we just said their names. Dogmatica.
Oh.
Because those are all part of that storyline.
Right.
Again, it's very much a case of we have to wait and see.
Well, you know what that means. All we can do is,
wait
and see.
Which could take forever.
I mean, realistically, if it's anything like the delay we have on other products, it could be a while. I mean,
we'll probably get it about this time next year.
God, that's terrible to think about.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still on the fence on whether or not we're actually getting the Cyberdragon structure deck.
Yeah, it's not looking good.
Until I got my 3 in my hand.
So,
moving right along.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about Master Duel.
Yes, there was a new trailer that came out. And just kind of scanning through the trailer, some people online anyway were able to pull out a new dual pet, Toon Dart Magician, who looks completely different from regular Dart Magician. He's rounder.
Yeah, but I mean it looks really good too.
Oh yeah. 2 new sleeves. One is Trishula, the OG Trishula, and Blue Eyes White Dragon Chaos Max sleeves.
There's also a really cool like coin flip animation, I guess, to see who goes first.
Yes.
Where they show your little dual pet and everything like that.
Yeah, on the sides.
Right.
Also, whenever you win, if your dual pet's Rescue Rabbit, he dabs and then does a twirl.
Yep.
Just going to dab on your opponent with a Rescue Rabbit.
There's also a few other things. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to cut you off. I'm looking at the I'm watching the video as we go through this, and something that sticks out to me that I notice. I don't think I noticed it before, that there's a timer on the field.
Yup.
So it is nice to have for sure turns.
Mm-hmm.
And this might be the same thing that came up last time with the Starlight. What is that? Windy?
Yeah.
Or Ultimate Rare?
No. It was an Ultra Aerial. It was an Ultra Aerial and a Super Squamata.
Well, I just saw an Ultimate Rare Windy.
Well, then that's new as well.
I don't think it is. I think that was in the original.
No, because the original was an Ultra
I'm
Aerial.
almost positive there was an Ulti or a Starlight.
Oh, there might have been, but it was. I don't think it was any of the Shadal stuff, because I only remember seeing an Ultra Aerial and the Super Squamata.
Okay.
It might not even been a Squamata. I remember seeing another Super Shadal monster.
So moving on though, yeah. There's some other cool things that we have.
There's also they also have this really cool final attack animation.
Yes.
Whenever you declare the attack that ends the game, the card very dramatically swings up, makes this big arc and this big boom.
Right. It looks completely different from the game-ending animation that came out a few weeks ago.
Yeah. This is a completely new build of the game.
Right.
And also, there's now there's an actual special animation for Exodia. So if you win via Exodia, you get a cool animation that plays out.
Oh, please, God, don't let that promote the worst parts of this game.
it's one of the most famous things of this game.
Something else I'm noticing there are some really, really cool field designs. Mm-hmm. I mean, when you look at it, there are some legitimately wonderful looking field designs.
For those who know, you know.
Yeah, and we'll leave a link to it down in the description below. That way anybody can go in and see it. But the amount of things that they can do are pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
The most important thing that came out of this trailer, though, easily is the Rescue Rabbit avatar. When you win, he hits a dab. A literal dab, and then he comes out the dab and goes into a full 360 spin.
Yeah, that's what I was saying like a second ago. Like, it is amazing. Rescue Dabbit. Let's go, boys.
Oh, yeah, it's epic.
Oh, yeah. And then also, they had an announcement over in V-Jump, was it?
Yeah, so there was a little bit of extra information that came out in the V-Jump Play, and which is let me pull it up right here. All right, so featuring more than 10,000 different cards from the OCG/TCG. In this game, you'll be able to use more than 10,000 different cards from the very beginning of the service, ranging from cards shown before, like Access Code Talker from recent years. You can duel with a massive card pool that includes legendary cards also, like Dark Magician and Exodia, the Forbidden One. Then there's an asterisk. Some cards can only be obtained in events or through purchases. For more further information about this game will be revealed later through V-Jump Play. So, and then there's also some individual clips from the trailer. So, the real things to note here about this are that there will be 10,000 cards, over 10,000 cards available on release of the game.
Which we know is pretty much how many cards are in the game.
Right.
Give or take.
Right.
Give or take 1,000.
So,
well, I know that because of 10,000 Dragon.
Right. something that's interesting is that all the trademarks at the end of the trailer are all 2021 trademarks. I don't know if that means that the game's going to release in 2021, or that's just they have to put that for the year rather than a 2022 trademark because that's when the game releases.
I don't know how the trademark, that kind of trademark stuff would work with I know how it works with American companies. I don't know for.
Well, I mean, they have to license it in America.
Yeah, but it's also like an international thing, and it's a little more complicated. If it was American, then they would have multiple dates.
Oh, okay.
The first year would be the year of the copyright being.
Oh, say the name or whatever.
Yeah, the second year would be year of release. But then if they're the same year, it's just 1 year. For instance, that's why you'll see Pokemon say copyright 1995, I think, or 96.
Right.
And then comma this year on the new games.
Oh, okay. That makes a ton of sense, actually, when you say it.
Yeah, because
like
it's when it was originally copyrighted and how long the copyright's been going on.
So, also we have it to where it says some cards will only be available through in-game events and purchase. So, what that tells me is, I think the most likely reason that that it says that, I think that there will be some special exclusive cards that you have to win via tournament, like a prize card. And I think outside of a prize card, it's hard to say exactly how they're going to monetize it because there's so many different ways they can go about it. And almost none of them are going to be enjoyed by the community.
No. Like, I think the only one that people will be like, okay, I'm fine with that, is literally if it's just alternate arts and you pay to up rarity a card.
Yeah, but I don't see a world in which it's worth it to pay to up rarity cards. I think that the only way that they can realistically justify rarities on cards is if it's something based off of pulls and off of packs. I don't want that to be the case.
Yeah.
But I think that releasing things with packs and releasing things based off of pulls, that way you can get certain rarities off of certain pulls. I think that's probably the best way to go when it comes to rarities.
Oh yeah. I'm cautiously optimistic. Very cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, this could go south easily.
It's very easy for this to go hard south. It's also very easy for it to be just perfectly fine.
Yeah. I mean, it all depends on how they monetize it, right? Because at the end of the day, I don't think they'll do a subscription-based service, but they could do a subscription-based service, and a lot of people would pay for it. They could also just do a one-time purchase.
Which I would be perfectly fine with.
Yeah, if you get a one-time purchase and everything's available after that, that would be cool. But I think that they want some kind of rolling income.
Yeah.
Which is not easy.
Yeah, particularly since they already have a couple of other games that are also all, you pretty much have to pay to play the game.
I mean, if you look at something like Duel Links is a cash cow. Duel Links dang near kept the Yu-Gi-Oh card game afloat when COVID first hit. I mean, Duel Links made them millions and millions and millions of dollars. Not just keeping up the development team, not just keeping up the servers. I mean, Duel Links was making oodles of money. Yeah, I think it was the second highest grossing mobile game, or the second highest grossing mobile card game, or anything else.
Yeah,
whatever category.
Something like that.
Yeah, whatever category it was in the top 2 or 3 in earnings, which is insane. I mean, it was outperforming Magic the Gathering Arena. It was outperforming the Pokemon Online card game. It was outperforming...
Which it outperforming Magic the Gathering Arena is really impressive, because have you seen...
It outperformed Hearthstone.
Hearthstone wasn't doing very well. But
I thought Hearthstone was doing very well. I mean, Hearthstone, I think, was 6th.
Up until about...
Oh, that's a Blizzard product.
Oh,
yeah. Hearthstone is no longer doing well.
Yeah, anyway...
This report came out for last year, though.
Okay, yeah.
To be fair,
yeah.
This was a 2020 report.
Well, because I remember about 2 years ago, somebody mentioned that Hearthstone was at that point in its history had only returned losses.
Oh, well, I mean, as of last
that
year, it was
point.
returning huge returns.
Okay, it probably had like a big jump or something. Anyway, but like Magic the Gathering Arena had Danny Trejo in a commercial.
That's pretty good.
It was I can't try to remember the other actor's name. It was Danny Trejo and
Machete. Right? Is that who Danny Trejo is?
Machete. Yeah, it's Machete.
Machete.
Who was the other guy?
I didn't realize that they got like big name actors to be in the commercials.
I mean, it was just some random dude, and then he was roommates with Danny Trejo, and I can't remember the other guy.
Okay, what's he from?
He's a comedian.
He's a comedian? Oh,
yeah.
God, it could have been anybody. What did he look like?
I don't even know how to... Hold on, I'm Googling it now.
There's no way you don't know how to describe him.
I am god-awful at describing people. Let's see. Patton Oswalt.
Oh, Patton Oswalt. Okay, yeah.
It was basically the...
Wow, that's a heck of a cast.
Yeah, like, it was just like some random dude, and he was roommates with Danny Trejo and Patton Oswalt. And Danny Trejo in the commercial was like, "Listen, man, you gotta put in like Sanctify or something for the late game." And Patton Oswalt goes, "Listen, man, if you would just play Red Aggro, there wouldn't be a late game."
It's so funny that that's really set up perfectly, because you wouldn't expect, like, it's so funny that like Patton Oswalt's like the one getting aggressive, and Danny Trejo, the one that's like, you know, Machete, it's just like, no, you have to put in Sanctify.
You have to think about it, man.
Right.
Be one with the deck.
Exactly.
I'm just like, yeah. Anyway, we're getting off topic. Like,
I mean, it's fine.
It is still kind of in topic, because that kind of money for Magic the Gathering Arena to have those two, and it got beat by Duel Links, like, and all like the biggest commercial thing that I've seen Duel Links do was they got two big YouTubers and streamers.
Did Yu-Gi-Oh! Do a commercial for Duel Links?
No, but I'm saying like a generic commercialized campaign thing for Duel Links was that they had Chilled Chaos and Z-Royal Viking. Like they were going to duel each other. They each picked a deck. Z went first and picked Blue Eyes. And so Chilled Chaos went and picked Buster Blader, because dragons.
Right.
And then they each got they each got a coach, because they hadn't played Yu-Gi-Oh! Since they were kids. So they each got a coach who were one of the best players of Duel Links to teach them how to play and coach them for their big boom.
Okay. So
that was fun to watch.
This is, as of August of last year, the height of COVID. Duel Links was the leading source of revenue for Konami, and their digital entertainment department was up 36%.
Oof, all off.
The Konami casino, fitness, and amusement hall revenue had decreased an enormous amount, and Konami as a whole was down 6%, even with the 36% growth of digital entertainment. Casino revenue went down 56%, and at that time, Duel Links, a Yu-Gi-Oh! Mobile game, was Konami's leading source of revenue.
Man, Duel Links needs to go see a chiropractor. It must have hurt its back carrying the rest of the company. Jesus.
Honestly, I mean, so total revenue for their fiscal year, which ended March of 2021, was $2.48 billion. Not just for Duel Links, but for the company as a whole.
Yeah, that's their casino holdings, all their video games, all of their card games, everything.
Right. The company was carried by the digital entertainment division, which was $1.86 billion of that $2.48 billion.
The digital entertainment division being like all their video games, I assume.
Yeah, but the overwhelming majority of it was Duel
Links.
Links.
100% Duel Links.
Right. So, I mean, they had some other stuff that released, but literally, if you look at it, like, I don't even know the names of all this. But it's like card games continue to perform well, with Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading Card Game and Yu-Gi-Oh! Rush Duel still steadily expanding in Japan. But I mean, I don't know where it was that I saw Duel Links exact numbers, but I mean Duel Links made them somewhere in the neighborhood of like $200 to $400 million last year alone.
Yeah, Jesus, it's big business for them.
Yeah, I mean their digital entertainment department is literally carrying their. I mean, okay, look. Okay, this is what it was. Okay, so this is the top grossing card battle mobile games by worldwide player spending in H1. I guess that's quarter one or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Duel Links was more than double any other card game. Hearthstone was
Jesus.
second. Magic the Gathering Arena was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th, but that's because it's still very new.
Yeah.
Duel Links more than doubled Hearthstone, and Hearthstone was at second.
Jesus.
Duel Links player base just in the US and Japan, not including all of the other countries it's in, just the US and Japan was higher than anything else. They made over $110 million just in the first part of 2021.
Jesus.
Yeah. Hearthstone was the second highest grossing card battle game in the first half of 2021, and they only made $40 million. Compared to Duel Links is $110 million. Just in the first half of the year. The game's close to reaching $1 billion in total revenue since its launch.
Yeah, that's...
And their operating budget for this game is almost non-existent compared to others because they don't have overhead costs. They don't have to pay for rent. It's all just digital. All you have to pay is server space.
Yeah, they have to pay for server space, which right now is kind of at a premium.
Yeah, but even paying for server space
it's well worth considering. I'm 99% sure at this point they could get however much server space they wanted.
Yeah, it's... I mean, considering in all of 2016, the game grossed $23.9 million, and now in 2021, just in the first half, they grossed $110.
Yeah. And that number is still growing exponentially.
Yeah. The point is, they understand how to make money with a digital title. And so Master Duel is no different. They're going to make their money with Master Duel. No matter how big Duel Links is, no matter how big... Master Duel is its own game, sure, but they're not going to lose money on it.
No.
They've put an enormous amount of resources into building this game. They've put a lot of time, a lot of effort into getting this game right. And to have the first Konami made first party master rule simulator is huge. And they know that. They're going to make sure that this is done right.
Oh, hopefully. Key term, hopefully.
I hesitantly have faith in Konami to get this particular aspect correct.
Looking at you, blood and violence.
You mean ruddy and violence?
Rud and violence. Those of you who know, you know.
And for those that don't know, that's a reference to Ruddy
Rose Dragon, and then Blood and Violence is the pachinko machine that they made based on Castlevania, where they made Dracula a waifu.
Really?
Yes. Like, there was a stint where Konami just made a bunch of pachinko machines out of Silent Hill.
I mean, that's like also one of their leading revenue sources, or it was anyway. Now it's kind of hard to do pachinko, but
yeah, there was a bunch of it. And it was an awful time.
Yeah, but I do think that they're going to monetize this in the way that makes the most sense for them financially. I think they're going to monetize it through a combination of aesthetic features as well as a way to get new cards. They could just do a thing where it's like, every time a new set releases, pay 99 cents or pay $1 and you get the new set, which realistically I'm probably fine with that. Anything up to like the $4.99 mark. Past $4.99 I'm starting to be like, okay, this is starting to get kind of pricey.
Yeah, no, like at that point you're just paying for 2 card games.
Yeah, but realistically, it would make a lot of sense to just... You can do packs, or you can just have one set price that you pay to get every card from the new set up front.
Maybe. I mean,
like you get free packs for playing games and playing things like that, and you get free packs and you can get the cards for free. Or if you want to just pay a flat fee, and I guess if you're going to do it like that, where you give the opportunity for it to be free to play, because it does say free to play in the description. If you're going to give it the opportunity to be truly free to play, where you can grind for everything, then I say have everything be released up front, and then follow that up with, as you win more games, you win packs. As you win more packs, you can get more cards. As you get more cards, you can get higher rarities. Or you can pay a flat fee and just get everything up front.
I mean, on that front, they could probably do something along the lines of what Hearthstone did.
What did Hearthstone do?
So basically, every single day you got quests, and which was stuff like win a game, or play a deck with this specific type of card in it, blah blah blah.
Right, I follow.
And when you completed the quest, you got gold, and you could spend the gold on packs.
That would make a lot of sense.
Or you can just straight up dump actual money into it and get a crap ton of packs.
Right.
That's that's entirely something they could do. Again, we'll have to.
I mean, I hate to beat a dead horse, but we'll just have to
wait and see.
Right.
As much as we've repeated that, there's just not a whole lot of information out right now. Again, I am cautiously optimistic.
Right. I think that they have the opportunity to do it right, and they know they
absolutely. Do. I am optimistic about it by choice, but it's very much of a this can go south very easily.
Right.
Kind of
Yeah, it's something that I don't know. It's just something to be aware of and to be hesitant about. Mm-hmm. I don't know. What's something that you're looking for? Like, what's something that you hope to see in the game, though?
Well, okay. The way I would want it to work is like when you boot up the game, all the cards are currently out you have access to, and then it's like the stuff you pay for and win is stuff like alt arts or
right.
Like I said, the rarity bumps,
the sleeves,
the dual pets, and right. I'm thinking like maybe give an avenue to earn it all in game or just pay the money and get it.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool.
Maybe, You know
what I would love to see?
What's that?
I would love to see if I use my dual avatar in the game. Like that they hop off of their little platform and jump in. Like if I summon Rescue Rabbit, he like hops into the game or
even like points to the card and points at himself and flexes.
Yeah.
Something like your dual pet your dual avatar acknowledge that you just played him.
Yeah, that would be awesome. It sounds stupid, but just like a little animation like that would just make it awesome.
Yeah, kind of like how in Super Mario RPG, whenever you use an item on your party members, the party member turns to the camera and tells the player, thank you.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, so like something along those lines would be great. I love how the dual pets have victory animations.
Oh, yeah.
I've only seen one. But so far only one of them have actually mattered. Good old Rescue Dabbit. I'm curious on how Pot of Greed's gonna like.
Maybe cards will just shoot out the top.
You have to do Pot of Greed and like two cards just get spit out of it. Or,
that would be really funny.
Yeah, something like that. It's like its victory is it just kind of like spins happily. However, a pot can spin happily.
Yeah. So that'll pretty much wrap us up for today's episode of the podcast. Thank you everybody so much for listening. We ask that you please follow us on Twitter at Top Cut Podcast. And I would argue at this point, even more importantly, be sure to join our Discord. The link will be in the description below. We are really building a wonderful community, especially there in the Discord. It's a great place to come in, hang out. You can talk to all kinds of people that are like-minded in the game, whether they be more casual, more competitive, more meta players, rogue players. I mean, we have just GOAT players, Plain Synchro players. We have chat rooms to talk about all these different topics, all these different things. We have a marketplace. We have duel rooms. We've started hosting some small tournaments from time to time.
Just for funsies.
Right. It's a really is a wonderful place to come in, get experience. You can have
ask questions.
Ask questions, get ruling advice, get deck building advice. You can talk about your favorite anime, whatever pops up. And I mean, me and Caleb are in there all the time looking for matches. You can come test with me and Caleb. You can test with any of the other, 50 to 80 people we currently have in there. So
Number is subject to change.
Hopefully it changes a lot and goes like really
Yeah,
far
hopefully
up.
it goes up.
Yeah, so hey, listen, we get like 200 listens an episode. We only have like 70 or 80 people in there. That means most of you are not in the server.
Come hang out.
Yeah, so you that's not in the server, I'm looking at you, buddy. I'm looking at you.
I don't bite much.
I mean, hey, if you can sit through this podcast, you can come chill in the server. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
Realistically, though, thank you everybody so much for the support. We really do appreciate everybody that listens and comes and hangs out with us twice a week. What we can ask that going forward, though, that you do is please share this podcast with your friends, your buddies at locals. Send it to them. Be like, hey, man, I found this cool Yu-Gi-Oh podcast. They update twice a week, every Tuesday, every Friday.
And we don't sound terrible.
Yeah, we literally spent like an hour today before we recorded just trying to fix our sound because we were having horrible sound quality issues. As I'm sure you noticed on last week's episode. Sorry about that, by the way. I don't know. We still don't know what happened there. But thank you all so much for listening. Like I said, follow us on Twitter at Top Cut Podcast. Caleb's Twitter is at JamTheMan17. My Twitter is at DatChumley. I don't know why. I chose it in high school. We ask that you, if you're listening on Apple iTunes or if you're listening on Apple iTunes, there's a little follow or subscribe button or something along those lines. Be sure to hit that button. That way it automatically puts our podcast into your iTunes every time we update, every time we post a new episode. That we can just click on it and start listening. Super easy. If you're on Spotify, please be sure to follow us. And if you're on Apple iTunes, be sure to give us a rating or a review. It is really helping our algorithm a lot. Now when you search Top Cut Podcast, we actually pop up. Hey, that's a start. It's improvement. But we are so thankful for the ratings and reviews that we have so far. In fact, I'm so thankful for some of the ratings and reviews that we have. I want to take just a moment to shout out one of our listeners who actually did leave us a review. So if you go in and you click on our name and you scroll down to reviews, you'll see a review from Fake Anakin. Loving this podcast. Found it right after I got back into Yu-Gi-Oh! And they have been awesome to listen to bring me up to date on all the latest news and what's going on in the meta. Love what these guys are doing and hope they continue for a long time.
Thank you so much, Fake Anakin.
It means the world to have listeners like you that'll, take the time to acknowledge us and thank us. And thank you for listening. Thank you so much. If you want your review read on the podcast, the only way to do that is to leave that review. So, thank you everybody for listening. Have a good afternoon.
Take care, everybody.